Hey everyone, this is John Link at Apache Village RV Center in Wentzville, Missouri. I'm standing in front of a special surprise for you today. So this is a brand new 2026 Fleetwood Palisade 45CS. It's a 45-foot tag axle diesel coach that is absolutely gorgeous. This is actually going out today to one of our longtime customers. We're going to take a quick look at this. Now this paint job gets 6 coats of clear at the Fleetwood plant. They paint all their own coaches. I've been inside that paint facility. It is unbelievable. This has the 9-liter Cummins in it with 450 horsepower. Freightliner chassis are unbelievable. We're able to put long, irregular shaped tile floors in these coaches because there's only a ½ inch of deflection rate in a Freightliner chassis like this. And then you also get an absolute ton of storage down here in the underbelly, thanks to that raised rail system. There's giant I-beams in this. Once again, that comes back to that ½ inch deflection rate in opposite corners on the chassis. Now, on this coach as well, vacuum bonded walls and the Powerlock wall system. Fleetwood is famous for this. They haven't had a coach delaminate in over 20 years. That Powerlock system, the way the roof interlocks with the sidewall, interlocks with the floors, is basically completely impenetrable to water. It would have to defy gravity to get up inside of the sidewall. To get that same vacuum bonded sidewall that you would have on one of our Discovery LXEs or the Fleetwood Discovery 2, which is the product that's just one step lower than this Palisade, you're looking at a coach that's over $500,000. This paint job here came straight from their paint facilities, absolutely gorgeous. We have the V-Ride system, providing one of the smoothest rides possible on any sort of motor coach out there, and the Ultra Steer. So on this tag axle, typically you have to dump your tanks to raise this rear axle off the ground so you're not scuffing your tires. Well, with the Ultra Steer, this wheel actually turns. So that wheel pivots and brings the rear end of the coach around when you make a turn. Right here you see we have 6 AGM coach batteries right under our transfer switches or our inverter as well. Every Fleetwood coach is going to come with the matching color for your grout and everything, and then a big extra box as well of tiles for that coach in case you drop a hammer or do something on the interior and crack one of your tiles. They should never crack because of the Freightliner chassis and that ½ inch of deflection. They should never crack from driving, but accidents happen, huh? Right here we have a deep freeze, Dometic deep freeze. This is portable. You can use it as a fridge as well, but it'll crank down, I believe, to 0 degrees. I've seen those in other coaches. They're really cool. Outside TV obviously comes with slide toppers, 2 big giant Girard awnings, and then a door awning as well. Retractable stairs. We have a key code entry for the door. This one has window awnings as well, as you can see right here. Now a couple other things on the body. This is coming down the same assembly line that we have like for American coach. So you see that has this nice chrome accent we typically are used to seeing on our American coaches, which are also produced by Rev Group. This Fleetwood product here is getting the American coach treatment. Looking up the front of the coach, right here you're going to have behind the nose, hidden back there, is a 10,000 watt generator. That will easily power all 3 of the air conditioners on this, and the power control management system that is on board will actually power down items inside the coach and shed power to make sure those ACs are keeping it very cool in there. Now when it comes to the sidewall construction again and painting these coaches, you can see each slide out has matching paint as well that blends right into the side of the coach. Really, really good look. Let me get it with the sun on it here. That is an absolute top of the line premium feature right there, coming down the Fleetwood assembly line. Fleetwood was the first manufacturer also to do CNC routing machines in their build process. So every single one of these windows and the doors and anything that's cut into this sidewall is done by machines. So what that does, it eliminates road noise. Like if you have humans doing this and there was a slight error, let's say in this window right here, and it wasn't perfectly square, you can have an air leak, and the coach is whistling down the road, which drives people nuts when they're driving. They started doing this back in 2020, and it's been great so far. We don't have anywhere near the amount of complaints or anything like that from coaches whistling or making wind noise. Much heavier chassis with that XCM chassis as well. They have a very low center of gravity and thus ride a lot smoother than chassis using other design features. giant I-beams in this, as I mentioned, with that 1/2 inch of deflection, provide one of the smoothest rides on the road. Now, jumping up with this, like I said, 450 horsepower. You're also going to have a side draft radiator. Let me show you that. Rather than a rear radiator on this 450 horsepower plant here. Beautiful Palisade logo right over it. Can't get over the paint job. We've got a heck of a day to look at it. Coming back here, you have your wet bay. You gotta see there's a power cord reel, your water filter, all of your hookups for sewage and water. There's also a little electrical outlet in there. You can put a small heater in here during the winter to make sure nothing freezes up while you're camping. Right here, the 450D Aqua Hot. This has this system in here, which if you're not familiar, provides hydronic heating, so there's no propane furnace. All of the systems that operate this are either running on diesel or electric. This Aqua Hot provides your tankless water heating as well, which once again runs off diesel or electric. Then you have your onboard vacuum cleaner right there. Now jumping inside the coach, let's take a look at the interior really quick. The cabinetry and attention to detail in these Fleetwood coaches is second to none. Right when you walk in the door, you can see you have your main battery disconnects and then a little control screen to control everything inside the coach. I'm going to take my shoes off for Miss Janet, who's coming to get this in a couple hours here. Beautiful Palisade stitching on the driver's seat and passenger seat. Now, I've mentioned this in some of our other videos. Daimler owns Freightliner and came up with this system a while ago, but we no longer have the Allison transmission controls over here. This is a hands-on driving situation, huge safety feature. You're able to shift and operate your Jake brake and everything like that and switch from manual to automatic transmission on this paddle shifter here. Your heads-up display showing everything you need as far as your oil temperatures, your transmission temperatures, your tachometer, speedometer, your air tank pressures here. We're fully pressured right now. Obviously, being a Freightliner, being that this is a diesel coach, we have an air braking system and a full air ride suspension as well. Now, digging through the interior here, let's take a look at where we're going to be driving this coach. So we do have a heads-up TV. Janet optioned to not have the drop-down bed, so you have a ton of headroom in this coach. All of the air conditioners are whisper quiet, so they're using returns to feed air into the system and then blowing it back out through these vents. These are your returns, and those are the vents blowing air out back into the coach. TV is on a televator behind a trifold couch, so there's a mattress in this couch you can use to sleep any extra passengers you have, and then two recliners right here that are fully electric recliners. But check out the cabinetry. Look at the wood grain on this beautiful cabinetry. I know coaches these days, you see the white cabinets are painted all the time. I love the look of the wood grain. It's very elegant and classy. There are multiple different cabinetry colors, I believe 5 in the Palisade lineup you can choose from, then 3 different interior looks you can go for. So this here has the Horizon interior with this beautiful backsplash, all the accents. This is Horizon, and then hazelnut cabinets. Now, once again, saying that this was not, or this is an all-electric coach as far as the systems on board go. We have an induction stovetop instead of a propane stove. So no messing with propane. Here's your dishwasher, which blends right into the cabinetry. Beautiful farmhouse style sink. And then right here is your onboard vacuum cleaner. Refrigerator is absolutely enormous. I would take a guess this is 21 cubic foot. I need to take a look and make sure. Spice racks or canned goods, whatever you want to house here. Really nice latches on everything. This credenza pulls out to give you a little bit extra seating, so you can yank this out. Here's a collection of remotes for all the TVs inside and outside of this coach. We have one up front, one on the televator, one on the exterior, one in the bedroom, which we'll get to in a second here. Yep, I believe that's it. No TVs hiding in the closet. So this is sort of your living area right here on the 45 CS. This is going to be a quicker video here because Janet is on her way to pick this up. But I wanted to make sure we get this out to you folks on YouTube so you can just take a look at the beauty and quality of the Fleetwood Palisade product line. Here is how we control this unit. You can actually hook your cell phone up to this. This has heated floors, the AquaHot system, block heater for the engine, lighting in the luggage compartment. I believe the luggage compartment's also climate controlled. So here's your AquaHot preheat. Right now it's on burner. You can switch it to electric. Floor heat. You can schedule that so that when you wake up, it's already on when you wake up. You don't have to turn it on after the fact. Your tank, fresh tank, gray tank, and black tank meters right there. And then climate control reading right here where the temperature is in each zone in the coach. Here's everything you need to do to basically look at your inverter, solar charging, your outside power sources, automatic gen settings, or manual. Click solar and see what we're pulling here. There you go. You can dim each light in the coach. Interior and exterior lights. You can have two different settings for evening mood and day mood for the rear of the coach and in the living space up front in the living room. Here is your climate control center, so you can switch all this to AquaHot. There's a heat pump as well in the rear AC for the bedroom, so you can run that off electric too. Control each one of the fantastic fans that are in the ceiling. And they come with max air covers, already standard. Power those down. And then all of your slide out controls. Right now it's giving me a warning saying that the engine's running. On this coach here, you can extend this full side slide out. Then you have your rear slide and front slide. Tons of floor space. And my cousin was just in this a couple minutes ago complimenting the amount of space for this to have a half bathroom right here with a nice Thetford toilet. Additional vent fan in the ceiling. For this to have this much space, oops, sorry, through the center of the coach with the slides extended, tons of elbow room. Two people can walk by each other in this space. And this does have a mechanized bed, so you can hit the button, slide this down flat, or bring it up into its current position. Little wireless phone chargers here, straight across from the TV. Hey. Two extra chairs for when you pull out that credenza table right here. Have additional seating so 4 people can sit there. Another big closet. And then 8 full extension drawers. Now moving our way back into the restroom, we have our full bath, giant shower enclosure. It's unbelievably nice and luxurious little teakwood seat. Beautiful shower. And once again, since we're running that AquaHot, we have endless hot water supply, but know that you're filling up your gray tank as you're showering, obviously. Set of 4 drawers here, little power station on the very, very deep bathroom countertop. Tons of medicine cabinet storage. And you're going to see throughout the coach too, you're going to have these little mini touch screens everywhere. There's one above the bed, there's one in the other bathroom, there's one in this bathroom, but basically any of the controls that you want at the tip of your fingers for convenience are going to be right there. Oh, nice mirror too. The washer dryer is going to be housed back here in the closet, which is nice for sound reduction. And it even has a little storage area right here for some of the items you're going to need to clean your clothes. And then the very back of the coach, we have a giant closet. As far as clothing storage and being ready to go, full-time living and hitting the road, this is extremely well equipped for long voyages. Look at those floors. I could literally see my reflection in the floor. And once again, we're able to use these long tiles because of that XCM Freedom Bridge chassis that Freightliner's designed. Back in the day, we used to see coaches with cracked tiles back here that weren't Freightliners because of the amount of twist. So when I'm talking about deflection in the coach, this coach, because of the giant I-beam construction it has very little to no basically flex in the chassis, which allows us to use these beautiful tiles and not end up with cracked tiles or loose tiles in your midship. Meaning right about here, that's where they're most susceptible for the chassis to twist and pop your tiles loose. This beautiful ceiling fixture right here too. So this is the Fleetwood Palisade. Absolutely gorgeous. New product from Fleetwood last year. Wanted to make sure we got this 45 CS on video since a customer had ordered it. We actually have another Palisade coming soon. I can't remember which floor plan it is, but when we get that, we'll do another review for you. So you get to take a look at that coach and the interior. Make sure we mention the decor, because I know a lot of you folks that are out there shopping are curious what the decor actually looks like, not in a brochure. This coach is extremely, extremely classy looking on the interior. We've worked with Fleetwood for over 20 years. We have a great reputation with them. Our customers love Fleetwood. They build one of the nicest coaches on the road. One of the greatest things about Fleetwood too is that they spend all of their money that goes to R&D is spent towards building the best coach out there. They don't make travel trailers and pop-ups and fifth wheels. They aren't trying to save money by figuring out how to build coaches in the cheapest way possible to share materials between all of the builds of different products. No, every penny that they put towards developing a coach is going into R&D to build the best motorhome out there, because that's all they do. They aren't spreading that money thin and spending it elsewhere, trying to figure out how to, you know, hey, let's save these slide out materials from our fifth wheel line and put them in a motorhome. Absolutely not. They're using all of that money to build the nicest motorhome possible. So as far as storage goes, in the undercarriage and in the interior of the coach, a big old king bed, 45-foot chassis with the 450 Cummins in it. Very, very well equipped to hit the road. And we have dealt with Fleetwood for so long, like I was saying. Our technicians at Apache Village are very, very familiar with working on these and are able to support you if you do have an issue. Just know that the technicians that will be working on your coach are some of the best in the industries. Comment below if you have any questions at all. Be happy to answer them for you. Remember, we're at Apache Village RV Center. Go one better. Go Apache Village. That's what our customers have said for years. We really look forward to earning your business. My family and I would love to see you here. Let us know if you have any questions below in the comments. Thank you.
Thank you.